All right, so fun fact, I didn't learn that I was a perfectionist until I was in high school. But my teacher that I'd known since I was in sixth grade knew within 5 minutes of meeting me because I wanted to discuss with her her plans for me for the year. Since I could remember, I've always had a 10-year plan, and as I grew mentally and emotionally through self-reflection, insightful conversations with people from various walks of life, such as my cohort, and experiences, I would periodically re-examine and address my time frame. Throughout elementary, high school, the beginning of college, and even the Army, my time frame has been my sense of comfort and stability. In my mind, having this timeline meant being able to avoid as much ambiguity in life as possible. It meant obtaining the unobtainable, which is perfection. For example, since I was 10 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. I also wanted to be an entrepreneur, a photographer. I wanted to be a guitarist, a painter, an architect. But I also knew that I wanted and needed stability, a guaranteed income to be able to travel, to make sure my mother was taken care of because I am my mama's baby. And when I thought about that important detail, I re-examined my 10-year plan drastically. Now my only option, I told myself, was to be a psychiatrist. At first, I said I'd be a neonatal surgeon. But then I thought eventually dealing with the occasional death of children would bear down on me too much. So I crossed that out. And as I said, I decided in the long run, psychiatrist would work for me because I knew I needed something I could see myself doing happily for years to come. I love behavioral science, and I'm a very analytical person. My thoughts are always going a mile per second, and my mom always told me to Pree, slow down, you're going too fast, and of course, I'm very stubborn. I also learned that this year. I was like, nah, Debbie, I'm good, and I keep it pushing. Of course, I've had to learn the hard way for not listening to my mother, and of course, she told me, I told you so. I was doing good in college. I had straight A student. I was in all the honors programs. Everybody wanted me. And then one day after math class, I get a call from Mike B that I am given the opportunity to be at selection day. And my life hasn't been the same since. I haven't decided if that's good yet, but it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. Throughout these 10 months, I have changed drastically, mentally and emotionally and physically. All the Army's hard work went to waste in these 10 months. What I mean by that is conversations that I've had with some intelligent people in my cohort and the last few trainings with the Good People's Group that makes you take a good look at yourself, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you. At the end of the program, it made me really analyze why I put my time and effort into becoming a psychiatrist, why I stopped painting while my guitar is gaining dust in the corner of my room as we speak, why I lost my calluses for guitar, why I stopped researching and filling up my notebooks with business plans of all the things that I wanted to do and wanted to be. It made me think about how I was only focusing on being a psychiatrist and why that reason was, and how it made me feel empty inside. The reason why I was focusing on being a psychiatrist is because I knew it was going to give me stability, and that being an entrepreneur doesn't come with an outline. You can't put a time frame on being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of the unknown, which I am still definitely afraid of. I try to plan down to the very second of my life, and life doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If I was God, it would, but you know. Throughout the journey, I've been feeling like the little kid holding onto your ankles because they don't want to let you go. In regards to my time frame, I've been having trouble letting go, but as the end of this journey has arrived, I've come to realize that it was never actually about letting go of my time frame. Instead, it was more so about letting my need for perfection go, letting myself expand other parts of myself, and not berating myself for not sticking to my time frame. I learned that putting a time frame on your goals can actually hinder you sometimes, and nothing ends up accomplished. I've always known on some level that I could be everything that I told you, an entrepreneur, an artist, and a doctor. And not only a doctor, but a great one for doing all the things that I wanted to do. That in doing so, I may end up someplace beyond my wildest dreams. So from this point forward, even though it makes me nervous, even though the perfectionist me goes into an anxiety-driven attack when I think about not having a plan, I'm going to pursue all the other things that I wanted to do and become. While doing my POL, I found a quote that is as close as I could get to summarize my continuous learning experience and journey by Mark Hansen. He said, "Don't wait until everything is just right. It never will be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful." Now, the perfectionist me, I don't know if I'm gonna follow that through smoothly. I'm probably gonna scrape my knees a couple of times. I'm still holding on to that time frame. I can't let it go just yet. But I am making the commitment to myself to actually consistently work on letting it go and letting myself truly fly and grow in whichever way possible. Since for my 30-second passion speech, I always talked about continuous learning and growing, but I never let myself fully grow in every which way possible. So from this point forward, I'm gonna stop hindering myself and just do the damn thing. Thank you.